take refuge with the King Mentor. Free and easy, exits everywhere, everywhere. Your figure is so at easy, your obedience is so free. You are uninvited mentor, you're the embodiment of all the Buddhas, the embodiment of all the Buddhas. Vow to take refuge with the kind mentor. Responds actively by the conditions, by the conditions. You are in the appropriate body, appear in the 5 turbidities. You immerse yourself in the practice compassion, nourished in the sprouting roots of goodness, growing flowers and fruits. Vow to take refuge with the kind mentor, Vow to take refuge with the King Mentor. Free and easy, exits everywhere, everywhere. Your figure is so at easy, your obedience is so free. Vow to take refuge with the kind mentor. Responds actively by the conditions, by the conditions. You are in the appropriate body, appear in the 5 turbidities. You immerse yourself in the practice compassion, nourished in the sprouting roots of goodness, growing flowers and fruits. Vow to take refuge with the kind mentor, Sakyamuni.
kindness, compassion, joy, and giving. Accompany sentient beings with hidden merits and virtues. Manifest the Dharma of suffering and bliss. Expound upon royal roots of death and birth, as well as the roots of nirvana. Manifest eloquence, wisdom of cause and effect, making sentient beings renounce evil and cultivate good. Compassionate Benny, enlighten sentient beings to be aware of the self-nature. Establish Buddhist practice, incorporate it, create apparitional city to give happiness and remove suffering. Set example for bodhisattvas by diligently hold precepts, samadhi, and wisdom. Benefit all by great compassion. Practice Buddhist practice at any time in the illusory world. Let us closely follow. Be free from the ultimate suffering and gain utterly bliss. Vow to follow Benny's practice. Compassion, joy, and giving. Accompany sentient beings with hidden merits and virtues. Manifest the Dharma of suffering and bliss. Expound upon royal roots of death and birth, as well as the roots of nirvana. Manifest eloquence, wisdom of cause and effect, making sentient beings renounce evil and cultivate good. Compassionate Benny, enlighten sentient beings to be aware of the self-nature. Establish Buddhist practice, incorporate it, create apparitional city to give happiness and remove suffering. Set example for the bodhisattvas by diligently hold precepts, samadhi and wisdom, living all by great compassion. Practice Buddhist practice at any time in the illusory world. Let us closely follow. Be free from the ultimate suffering and gain utterly bliss. Vow to follow Benny's practice.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Bodhi.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you today?
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay, so let
Not
me.
the best. Yeah, not the best, but I'm all right.
Okay. So, okay.
I can spend 1 hour. Yeah. All right. Now, okay. Let us summarize that what we have. Thank you. Let us summarize what we have done yesterday and day before yesterday. Now,
Okay.
I would like you to remember these 5 parts, not at once, little by little. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana. I'll repeat that. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana. Is it hard?
Repa, Vedana,
Rupa.
Rupa.
This is Buddha's terms. These Magadi.
Okay.
These are the sounds of the Buddha's terms. These are the
Okay.
sounds. Rupa. So you can, if you would like to write in any other language, you can do that as Rupa. Now, These are sound. I told you in the beginning, you know, all Magadhi language is nothing but the sounds. We are learning
Okay.
sounds.
Okay.
We can't, there's no language called Magadhi. It is a language, but you can't write it. There's
Yes.
no alphabet for Magadhi language. It is for communication only.
Okay.
So it
Yes.
has got only sounds. So
Mm.
the first one is Rupa. The first one is Rupa. Second one is Vedana.
Vedana.
Yeah,
Vedana.
yeah. And then Rupa, Vedana, Sanya.
Sanya.
Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Remember
Rupa.
the first, excuse me, remember the first three words together. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya.
Rupa.
Rupa,
Vedana.
Vedana, Sanya.
Sanya.
Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. This is so important because this one will be there in the entire teachings of the Buddha in almost all sutras. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Then you can look at the other two. Sankara, Vijnana. Sankara, Vijnana. So try to remember first three first, then the next two next.
Okay.
Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Then Sankara, Vijnana. Sankara, Vijnana. Sankara, Vijnana. Sankara, Vijnana. Sankara and Vijnana.
Sankara and Vini.
Vijnana. Yeah, bit difficult to pronounce sometimes these terms because it's Magadhi language. But we'll try to remember as much as we can. Now these 5 items are the components of a thought. It is a thought. Thought is made out by these 5 items. The thought, you know what a thought is? The thought is, in Magadhi language, in English we say it's a thought. In Magadhi language, it is not thought. It is called chitta. Chitta.
Cheetah.
Chitta.
Cheetah.
Chitta in Magadhi language. So we'll come to that later. So we use the word thought right now. Thought is chitta in Magadhi language. Yeah, that's right. I have written there chitta.
Okay.
Yeah, thought, stroke, chitta, that's the one. So that is what it is. So it's the Magadhi language is chitta, but in English we say thought. 5 elements of a chitta. 5 elements. What are the elements? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. So we'll go to the first 3. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. There is a reason for remembering the first 3 first. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Now, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya is working with our 6 senses. So the Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, all 3 helps us to identify things, people, situations, you name what is happening in the outside. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya helps us to identify or perceive to figure out who is this fellow, what is he doing, what is this, what is that, to identify things. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya is helping. But remember that Rupa, Vedana is going very fast, beyond our imagination. These three are happening. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. What is Rupa? What we get through our eyes or ears or nose or, all the six senses. Through that, a fictitious image is going to go into our mind and get registered. That is Rupa. Yes, they are going very fast, beyond our imagination. So don't think about, we can't think even how it happens. But it happens because we identify. When we see something, we identify if we have seen earlier that, 1 millionth of a second. So if you see something, you identify. Look at the things that we have identified in the past. When we see a cat or a dog or any other animal, we identify them. How we identify? From the pictures that we have seen in the computer. Some programs, we have seen a lot of things. We have seen, some animals which we have seen, which are not in this country, they are in other countries. We see them through the programs. When we look at the television programs and things like that. So we identify them by recalling what we have seen earlier. So we can bring the thoughts. We can bring those, pictures that we have seen earlier, which are deposited, which are registered in our mind. So we can recall them. Then you say, that is that animal. This is this animal. Here it is an elephant. Here it's a lion. This is a tiger. So all these things can be recalled from the previous experiences and the present experiences by looking or watching them. So Rupa is nothing but the real pictures or real objects, gives a picture or an image into our eyes through the rays, and it gets registered inside the eye. Through the noise, we get Rupa registered in our mind. Through the tongue, with the taste, through the nose, with the smell, through the body, with the touching, through the mind, it says through the mind or the brain, I would say, through the brain, we get speeds. The speeds of these things will give us some sort of pictures as well. So I'll come to that later. It's bit complicated, that part, how it happens. But for the time being, Buddha found that, all these six senses activate. They activate and bring us this information, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, all three are occurring through the six senses. So they are confined to these six senses. What are confined to these six senses? Rupa, Vedana, and Sanya. What is Rupa? Whatever comes into the mind and registered as an image, but it's a fictitious or fake image, but that is the only thing which will help us to identify what it is. to identify a house, we should have the image of that house in our mind. You can follow me?
Yes.
Good. So then once we look at that house, or once we think about, once we investigate or examine that house in the mind, then the next step comes in Vedana. Am I to keep it or throw it away? And it suddenly goes to the Sanya. To do that, it helps to identify what it is. Here it is a house. So all three factors or elements, Rupa, Vedana, and Sanya, should work within the mind to identify that particular object or people or situation or whatever. So all these three should work together. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya.
Okay.
All these three are working with your senses. So you can look at that way. That is the easiest way. You can't. I don't think you can find any book explains in this manner. This is explained by us. We too discuss about these things for the last 15 years and try to figure out how it works. So these are our views. There may be some other methods, but I think this is the easiest way to remember. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Sanya is identification. How to identify that? All right?
Okay.
Good. Sankara and Vijnana. Look at the other two. Sankara. Thank you. Sankara and Vijnana. Sankara, who is responsible for Sankara? Entire physical body and its, particles. All the particles of the body is responsible to produce Sankara. Now see?
Okay.
First three, I'll go back to that. First three, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Who is responsible? All six senses. Only. Six senses only. Sankara, who is responsible for Sankara? The entire body parts. You name all the body parts. The particles of the body, the bones of the body, the flesh of the body, the blood of the body. You name everything in the body. Physical body.
Physical changes in the body.
Yes, everything in the body is responsible to produce Sankara. So first three are responsible for
Six senses.
six
Six
senses.
senses.
I'm repeating this one because this is so important to understand. Once you have seen in this manner, you can grasp the meaning very well. You can grasp the practicality of this particular five elements of a thought. That's why I am repeating this over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, these are our views plus the views of another monk, as my wife says. So we combine together and we used to discuss with that monk.
We have mentioned that
Yeah.
names.
Two monks in our books. So there are one monk is already passed away. Other monk is 86 years. Sometimes he used to call me, talk to me.
Wow.
This monk. So we had sort of dialogues with the monk, and we ask questions, and he give answers. So we give our views. We say this is how we remember. So he admires, and he added some things more for us to make our minds clearer. and so on and so forth. Okay, so we have understood this. It's a combined discussion. Help us to understand this.
Okay.
So I'm conveying that to you all with great pleasure, so that you can look at these things in this manner, which is a very simplified manner to understand. Okay, go back to the thing again. The first three, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, they are, they are responsible. Who is responsible to produce these three things? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, 6 senses. What are the 6 senses? The eyes, ears, nose,
Test.
tongue, the body, and the brain.
Yes.
6. Okay, it's a brain, right? Remember,
Yeah.
brain. It's because the brain, we need the brain to the mind to work. The brain is required.
Yes.
Yes. So therefore, eyes to see, ears to hear, nose to smell, tongue to taste, body to
Feel touch.
feel the touching, and brain to get the
Mind.
mind and the speed. There's a speed. It's speed.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it
Actually,
creates
it's 6 organs, right? It's 6 organs in our body.
that's right. Yeah, very good. Yeah, well done. Yeah, 6 organs. Yeah, correct. Yeah, you're following that very well. Yeah, thankful to you. Okay, 6 organs. Yes. So 6 senses, 6 organs equals. Yes, quite right. 100%. Now, Sankara is responsible. Who is responsible for Sankara? Put it like that way. The entire physical body. It's sometimes, it get irritated, system changes, paralyzes, it get squeezed, it gets, compacted, the body parts, then it's get, as I said, warm up, it get vibrated, it get attraction and repulsion through the system, entire system. Attraction and repulsion is another one. It's greater than what we discussed in the previous one. It's much more gravitational one, I would say, compared to what we learned, because before Sankara, 3 things happens. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. So all these 3 things helping to produce the Sankara. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya helps to produce Sankara, because this cause and effect. So what is the cause for Sankara? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya is the cause all together. All 3 together is the cause. The effect is Sankara.
Yes.
Rupa is the cause for Vedana. Rupa and Vedana is the cause for Sanya. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya is the cause for Sankara. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara is the cause for Vijnana. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, then Sankara and Vijnana. So 2 different things, Sankara and Vijnana. Now Sankara is the dangerous element. Why? It's going to paralyze us. It's going to make us cruel. It may, it can, generate cruel and dangerous situations.
Yes.
Sankara. So
Yes.
Buddha said put the brakes on when it comes to the sanya. Once you identify things, just put the brakes on. Otherwise, if you jump into sankara, then you go to vijnana, then trouble starts.
Yes.
Out of these five, so I would like to go through that again and again and again, because, yeah, because it's, you can read through what I have written here about these five. You can, get a lot of information by reading, if you like.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm going to stress that several times, because some of the things I can't write everything in the book, because it's going to be a very large one. It may be about 500 pages. If I
Yes.
put all these things into that, then it's going to be too much and people find it very hard to read. So that's why I have summarized, but when there's a discussion, we can add things, we can bring the examples. Just imagine if I put all these examples in the book, how long that would be. The
Yes.
book is going to be very, very large. So anyway, now Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Rupa is you see something, then it brings the, when we see something, when we hear something, when we taste something, when we touch something, when we think about something, or when I would say when an idea comes to our mind, then the speed comes, then the brain works. That's the sixth sense. Sixth sense, how the sixth sense works when an idea comes. So when the idea comes, even when you get idea, a rupa will register in your mind. When you get an idea, if you get an idea, I want to go to, say, America next month. That's an idea. So whatever you have seen in the computer programs, television, you get all sort of pictures about, say, you want to go to USA, that particular place.
Yes.
Then you try to figure out how that place is, where you are going to go. That particular picture comes into your mind. Upadana Rupa. That's the picture, Upadana Rupa. So it's not the real Rupa, it's a Upadana Rupa. It's a generated Rupa, generated by the system. So this system is, you can imagine how complicated this system is. How many things, how busy this system is. So don't make this system so busy. more,
Slow down,
more the
slow down.
system is busy, more we suffer, more we,
Yes.
sorrow, sorrowful, more we,
Yes.
complicated. So
Yes. Yes.
but you can remember, you have to remember, you have to study, you have to do all these things. But but of course you must study, you must educate yourself, you must meet people, you must associate with people, you should go to countries, but make sure no matter where you go, remember these things and try to be calm and peaceful with the system. So you always look after your system. Don't allow that to be aggressive. Don't allow the anger to come in. Because anger, aggressiveness are enemies.
Yes.
Those enemies are not welcome by this system, please.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to say to yourself, sorry, aggressive enemies are not welcome by us, because that can bring sorrow, unhappiness, everything. Yeah, never. So we have to make a what do you call determination, strong determination. I'm not going to bring the enemies like aggressiveness and strong determination. Not to bring them in.
Agree.
The Buddha says, now see, it's a quite interesting point here. Aggressiveness are not existing. We develop them. Aggressive,
Yes.
we develop, they are not there. They are not in our system. We just develop unnecessarily. Buddha
Yeah.
said, don't develop them unnecessarily because they are harmful. They are not good for us. If somebody is shouting at you, don't bring the aggressiveness into your system. Is what Buddha said. Buddha did that. And Buddha showed that through experience. There are so many examples where, there are so many examples. They are not good for us. You're quite right. Now see, so Sankara is happening in the entire physical system. All the particles, all the tiny particles get affected, disturbed, and get compacted, squeezing, warming up, vibrating or vibrations. Everything is happening inside this body. The bones are aching, the blood pressure goes up due to those things. So can be a sick person unnecessarily. Now see, if a person is very aggressive, you can see you have seen the people when they are aggressive and shouting, their entire body is vibrating. You
And
may have
their face become red.
their face become red and they have become different person. The
Yeah.
person who came, Buddha says, Buddha says another good thing. When you leave the house, right? Say
Yeah.
you leave the house peacefully, bring the same person to the house after you go, done all the business outside the world, in the world, you come back and bring back the same person, don't bring somebody else.
Okay.
With quite interesting these things.
Yes.
So we have to assess that. That's a good assessment. When you're coming back home, you may be tired, you may be tired after work, but don't bring
Yes.
somebody else into the home. Then some people they bring somebody else, they shout at the wife, they shout at the children,
Yes. Yes.
all sort of things happening. So you
Yes.
come
Yes.
with a smile, as you went, which is a bonus if you can do that. That's what we learn through these things. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Need a lot of practice. Actually, I think after one people working for a whole
Yeah,
day, I
yeah.
think they may bring some negative emotions to the family, to the people around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where all these. So that's why Buddha said these five. You have to be very careful about these five elements. This can topple the happiness in the family.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so be vigilant, be observer. Always observe what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, should not bring anything negative to families or even. Now see, some people, when they are coming home, if they see something which they don't like to see,
Yeah.
they bring that home and have arguments, this, that. So that's also another problem, because not to bring what is not belong to the house. What is belongs to the house, the peace, the calmness. Everybody likes the calmness.
Yes.
Everybody liked the person who went out coming with a smile.
Yeah.
Now just imagine the people who are in the house waiting for the father or the mother coming back, or sister or brother or whatever, friends, if they are coming with a smile, people are happy. The energy goes up. Calmness can make a lot of great things in the world. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So anyway, so Sankara is the one brings by this entire body parts, each and every body part. So Buddha in another sutra, Buddha explain all the parts of the body. So what Buddha says is, okay, I'll just touch that. Buddha says, don't mix karma, too much of karma into the body parts. Strong karma. Don't mix that. You know what I mean? Karma. You're mixing the karma strongly into the body parts. Then the body parts get deteriorated. The body parts get disturbed.
Yes. Yes.
Buddha emphasized that, Buddha insisted not to do that. He reiterated, he remembered several times. So term reiterated. Reiterated means he Buddha said that, several times. Means
Repeat it again and again. Yes.
again, again and again, reiterated.
Mm.
Again and again, stressed. Repeated, of course. So it's a good part to remember. This is how it works. Then vijnana. What is vijnana? We feel different feelings. Feeling different feelings. Aggressive feelings. Or calmful feelings also can be there. But if you treat the 5 Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, if you treat them wisely, intelligently, if you treat them wisely and intelligently, this will bring us calmness.
Okay. So actually the
Calmness, not calmness.
calmness. Yes.
Calmness is peacefulness. Peacefulness. Calm, now see, don't get confused with calm and calmness. Calm is Magadhi language. Calmness is English. Okay? So
Yeah.
I use calmness. Calmness is peacefulness. In Magadhi, karma is not good. Karma is, likings, dislikings, strongly attaching to things with dislike and dislikings. Have you got any questions up to this point?
Yeah, so actually for this Rupa Vedana, Samnya, Samkara, and Vinana.
Yes, very good. Well done.
So actually they are neutral.
Yes, you can make them
right?
neutral. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can make them
because
neutral, but
it's all depending on our behavior, if we treat it wisely or with ignorance.
no, I have to go back to that. Sorry. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya is all right.
Okay.
The Buddhas, Arahants, higher level people, they are living with Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. They don't go to Sankara and Vijnana.
Yeah. But so you mean Samkara and Vinaya, they are actually negative vocabularies?
Yes, they are negative elements.
Oh, okay.
They are not good.
Okay.
The first 3 are okay. Buddha says, yes, when you see something, yes, identify whether it's good or bad. I'll tell you example, right? I'll give another example. This person came to Buddha with he wrote a song to his girl, right?
Okay.
And he came to Buddha and said, Buddha, I would like to sing this song in front of you. Would you like to listen to it? Buddha said yes. So he sang the song, right?
Okay.
He sang the song. After singing the song, he asked the Buddha, what do you think about this song? Is it good or bad? It's a tricky question, right? So it's an actual story. Then Buddha said, yes, your words went with the music very well. Buddha said.
Okay.
So that means Rupa Vedana Sanya Buddha used. Rupa
Okay.
Vedana Sanya. Then he asked, what do you think about my girlfriend? Is she going to be like it or dislike this song? Then Buddha said, that has to ask from your girlfriend, not me.
Yeah, the answer is from girlfriend. Yes, quite right.
So no point asking me. You ask the girlfriend. So,
Yes.
so you can imagine Buddha used the Rupa Vedana Sanya, but Buddha didn't go to Sankara Vinyana.
Okay.
Put it like this way. The systems of the Buddhas and Arahants are not made to anymore, made to Sankara and Vinyana. They are not going along that direction at all.
Okay.
They have eradicated that. Eradicated means they have not removed by themselves. It's automatically removed by realizing these outcomes, bad outcomes. So it doesn't work. It's like this. Some people don't like some fruits to eat,
Yes.
but it happens automatically. It's not forcefully done. Some things, when we see something, we have got neutral feelings, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah, neutral feelings. So if something like that happens, it says it happens automatically. If I get a good word, I'll explain in that manner, but I got the best word is automatically, with effortlessly. There is no effort to take the sankara out of the system. There is no effort. Not necessary to make an effort to get out the sankara or do away with sankara. There is no effort as such. It happens automatically, effortlessly.
Yes. Got it.
Yeah, got it. So Buddhas are going Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, no Sankara and Vijnana. So that those three items together is called a concept. A concept. Yesterday I mentioned that term.
Yes,
It's a
concept.
concept. So it's just a concept which won't harm anybody.
Mm.
Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. So it's a bit tricky, but it's worthwhile examining. So in your day-to-day work, when you associate with people, going with your, business, whatever you do, even when you are washing your face, even when you are eating, you can use this. And you can go to Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, not Sankara and Vijnana.
Yeah, but we need to practice. Sometimes when I eat something, I just immediately like or dislike it.
Yes, that's where the break has to be applied. So it jumps always because we are so used to that. We are
Yes.
so used to that from the small age. So it's very difficult to take that habit out of the system. Very difficult. But if you practice, you can see the value of that. Value of that practice. You enjoy the value of that practice because the calmness comes into the system.
Yes. We need practice.
Yeah, practice Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, okay, but Sankara and Vijnana. Sankara is to do with the entire body, physical body is going to pain. In the long run, if somebody is practicing anger all the time, that,
Wow.
for example, it can bring bad results like heart attacks.
Yeah, heart attack.
Because the heart is always working abnormally, not normal speed.
Yeah, abnormal.
Abnormal, yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Now there's another thing. I would like to touch with this. What it is, Buddha says, if somebody practices anger throughout the life, not every day, but okay, occasionally peace, but most of the time anger, for example, right?
Yeah.
Predominantly, anger is there in the system. If a person does that, after death, that energy full of anger will go and go to a womb of an animal, cruel animal, where that anger can be produced again and again. So Buddha says, or even if that person becomes a human being in the next life, that person is going to practice that anger again and again.
Yeah, because it's become a habit, actually.
Yeah, what we practice is what matters. So it's a
Yes.
very danger to practice anger. It's a dangerous practice. So therefore, if a person is going to practice peacefulness, most of the time, that person is not going to be born as animals.
Yeah.
Those people will born as humans with great capabilities, abilities to continue that good
Practice.
practice.
Yeah, good practice. Yes.
Yeah. So that's another bonus or advantage for the people who practice good things.
Yeah.
So this 5 elements of a thought or chitta is the Buddha's word, chitta.
Thought.
Yeah. Now you can imagine when we see something, how many thoughts are developing from the same object, millions and billions, which we
Yes.
can't see. It's
Yes.
going in a terrific speed. It's called a chain of thoughts, chain of chitta, chain of
Chain of thought. Mm.
yeah, chain. CHIN, yeah, chain. Just like a chain. It's coming like, it's coming. So that chain of thoughts are made from the chain of rupa, and those rupa is coming as a chain, and it makes the upadana rupa.
Mhm.
That process is called rupa raga, rupa raga, rupa upadana, rupa raga, upadana rupa or rupa raga. So it's upadana rupa, millions of upadana rupa are registered through rupa raga is the process, is coming from
Vedana.
the outside rupa. That clear? Or too much? Okay, just imagine that outside rupa is there,
Yes.
Then what the outside rupa does, it comes in through the rays, light rays, and it goes and registered in the mind as upadana rupa.
Yes.
Then if you look at what happened, there is a process. It's coming. Whenever you look at it, it comes at a terrific speed. The rupa is coming and registered as upadana rupa. So it's coming. So that process is called rupa raga. Raga is repetitively happening. So raga is repetitively. So which we are learning the 10 defilements. Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga. Kama, Tanna, Rati occurring repetitively is Raga. That's what we learn. So if I
Yes.
bring that term here, Buddha used the same term because Buddha never make us difficult by giving another term here. Buddha is using the same term everywhere
Yes.
to say raga means repetitive. So if you look at the entire teachings of the Buddha, whenever Buddha says raga somewhere in a different, sutra, raga means repetitive. So much easy to understand. It's only one word for one word with one meaning. I would say one sound to express one meaning. No, not
Yeah.
one, sorry.
Yeah. One sound.
One sound for one meaning.
Okay.
There is no two meanings for one sound. That is in some languages.
Yes. Especially in Chinese.
Not, not, not in that even English. You get
Okay.
wound. So there's a wound to be wound. So you have to wrap the wound. So
Yeah.
you say wound to be wound. So it has got same sound to express two or three meanings. But Buddha's teaching is entirely different. One sound for one meaning. So it's easy to follow.
Okay.
You won't get anywhere to say something different than Sankara other than this. It's only one Sankara, Buddha says. No matter which sutra or discourse you are going to discuss or learn. That's the beauty. That's easy.
Yeah.
No ambiguities, no confusions.
That's good.
Yeah, that's easy. That's the easiest part. Now, I have written Sakai Dittha. No, don't go to that one. What is that? That's the next item. 10 Sakai Dittha Vicikiccha Sila. No, that is the 10 fetters you are going to. It's too early, I think. What I can see here is on the screen. Yeah, those too early to go there. So you have to go back to bring it back to 5 elements of a thought. You're with me?
Ini.
Yeah, don't go that far. That's 10 fetters.
Yeah, I will do
Yeah.
it for you. 5 elements.
5 elements. 5 elements of a thought.
Page 13.
Yes, so as we saw, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So that part has to be. Now see, it's English, it says 5 aggregates as mentioned in text, I said. I don't know, but because it's better to remember as Panchupadana or 5 elements of a thought. If you look at like 5 aggregates, it doesn't say anything about a thought. I personally don't like to say 5 aggregates. I like to say 5 elements of a thought or chitta. That's why I have written in that manner. Can you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's not Buddha's terms. Buddha's term is Pancha Upadanaskandha, which are, that means 5, Upadanaskandha means 5, Upadana means creations, 5 creations of generated or formed, 5 generated Kanda. Kanda is mountains.
Yeah.
5 generated mountains. Why Buddha said they are mountains? That much of rupa is coming into our system every here and now.
5 generated mountain is Pancha
Pancha is,
Upadana.
Pancha is 5, Upadana
Upadana
is generated,
generated
Skanda means mountains.
mountain.
Now Buddha's term is that. Buddha sounds are that. Pancha Upadana Skanda. It has got 2 sounds.
Yes.
Upadana Skanda. Upadana Skanda. So 2 sounds there to Kanda. Upadana Skanda.
Upadana Skanda.
So
Pancha
yeah,
means 5.
hello.
Yes.
Excuse me, Doctor. You just
Yeah.
say Buddha used this term to describe as 5 generated mountains. So why he used the mountains to describe these elements, these 5 elements, please?
Yes. Why he used it's
Mountains.
it's enormous. It's enormous. These 5 are enormously
Ah,
producing inside our mind enormous things. So enormous 5 elements. So just to indicate they are too big. How big?
big.
When I say it's a mountain, people might ask, mountain, how big the mountain? As much as you think, it's mountain can be any height. Who knows? It can be height. No one can say its height is this much. It can be anything. The height goes up and up and up. So it depends on the way people are treating the rupa. Some people treat the rupa with less attraction. Some people use it with the high attraction or great attraction. So if a person does that, that 5 elements will go up and up and an enormous height. So the best, so you get mountains with, small height, big heights. Big mountains, small mountains. So Buddha never said the size of the mountain, he used the word mountain. So mountain can be small or large, depending on the situation. Here, pile up. That's right. It piles up.
Piles up.
But
Yes. Yes.
inside that's the reason why Buddha used that term, mountains. 5 elements, bringing 5 mountains inside the mind. So we have to struggle with these mountains all the time. So we get unhappy, happy, temporary happiness, unhappiness. Sometimes we cry, we get, sorrow, lamentation, you name, everything is there. Enjoyable situation, all of a sudden sad situation. Although it's enjoyable, it's temporary because the starting point is a fake or fictitious upadana rupa. So Buddha is questioning how come a fictitious or fake upadana rupa can bring you permanent happiness. It can't, because it's fake, it is impermanent, it is fictitious. So don't expect continuous happiness with fake, fictitious upadana rupa. So rupa
Yes.
vedana sambandha. So that is why we come to that sankhara.
Yes.
Why we get sankhara? Because it starts with fake upadana rupa, and we grab that, we think it can give us happiness, but sometimes it gives happiness, of course. Buddha never says it's not,
But temporary.
but temporary, because when the temporary happiness goes away, here comes the sorrow.
Yeah.
Here comes the sorrow, can come, much higher than the temporary happiness. Much worse situation.
Yes.
So it's, say somebody is trying to beat someone, and that fellow is going to run faster than the other person, and finally, would collapse. Unfortunately, it was too much speed. So happiness passed the line, won the race, but collapsed. Can you understand that?
Yes, yes.
Example here. They are not good example, but just to indicate what Buddha said. So happiness turns to unhappiness, sorrow.
Yeah.
So that's the sankhara part. So why it's called skandha? Skandha is, mountains is piling up, depending on the situation, depending on the person. It can be a huge mountain or a small mountain, average mountain, it can be anything. So when he used the right term, when it is,
Can we say it's depending on the karma?
yes, depending on the karma, depending on the way the person thinks that rupa is going to help me
Mm.
to have happiness. So it all depends on the judgment of that person.
Yeah.
That mountain develops accordingly. If the expectation is too high,
Mm.
then it's going to develop very fast, pile up very fast. If the expectation is low, then that mountain is not very high.
Yes.
It's easy to eradicate, easy to get rid of that. But
Yes.
if the pile up is high, large or great, it's very, very hard to get rid of that. When
Yes.
the suffer comes, has to face the suffering. When it brings the suffering, you have to face it. We can't stop it, because we have piled up that or contain that particular thing too much in the system.
Mm.
So it's troubling the system. How it troubles? Sankara. Sankara is the fourth one. So Buddha says, be careful about the Sankara and Vijnana, because Vijnana is a myth. Vijnana is a myth which might give you happiness and gives you some sort of feelings, good feelings. Then this person might get attracted to that feeling and, grab that feeling and eventually get disastrous situations.
Yes.
The feeling can bring bad results. So Sankara and the Vijnana are going to give bad results. What we have to look at is Sankara and Vijnana. So eradicate or try to eliminate Sankara and Vijnana. You can't eliminate Sankara and Vijnana. Why? It's gone beyond the point. So you have to put the brakes at Rupa Vedana Sanya. So Buddha never asks us to stop the Sankara and Vijnana. We can't. We think we can, but we can't. Did you get the point that I made? I took you to that point and said, yes, try to stop at Sankara. No, we can't. Why? This damage is done.
Damage is done. Yes. When we realize it, actually the damage is done.
Yeah, too late.
Too late. Too late to
That's
stop
why
them.
Buddha said before it's too late, put the brakes on at Rupa Vedana Sanya. When you identify this is going to be a problem, it gives you bad results, stop then and there. Buddhas won't go that far because they know these are fictitious. So Buddha says, okay, these fictitious things are going to make me unhappy. I'm not going to get caught to such traps.
Traps.
It's a trap. So Buddhas have experienced these things, how many years? 6 years experience, 6-year investigation, thorough investigation, very deeply done, extensive investigation. So Buddha has examined everything and found the real truth. So this is called the five elements are called the source of suffering. All five together. First three are okay. If you bring all the five together, that becomes a source of suffering. So that's the first truth of suffering. Buddha said, if you look at the four noble truths, the first truth says, truth of suffering. Truth of suffering is this. 5 elements of a thought. Truth of suffering. We'll come to that later, but this gives you the suffering. If you go beyond, what? Sanya. If you go beyond Sanya, then you get Sankara and Vijnana. If a person touches Sankara and Vijnana, then that person has to suffer, unfortunately. You understood that part?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
Yeah. If you go beyond Sanya, what you get? Sankara and Vijnana.
How can we, if you go beyond Sanya, how can we go beyond Sanya?
Rupa Vedana Sanya, right?
Yes.
Rupa Vedana Sanya. The next one is Sankara.
Yeah.
So it start to change the entire system.
Yeah.
Then you get feelings, so different feelings. So if a person goes by looking at a object, Rupa or image, and bring the Upadana Rupa into the system or the interior, works with that and identify that and thinks I can have happiness through this, then the
Yes.
Sankara comes,
Yes.
then the Vijnana comes, it gives you a better feeling. So
Yeah.
that person get, trapped by these two, Sankara and Vijnana.
Yes. Yes.
So should not go beyond the third one, Rupa Vedana Sanya, because Sankara and Vijnana brings the unhappiness.
So you mean we need to stop at the first step?
Rupa Vedana Sanya, if you can stop, and even if you stop at that point, even if you go a little bit of Sankara, you can still, put the brakes just before Sankara is better,
Okay.
not to go beyond that. So you have
Okay,
to
got it.
practice that several times,
Got
It's
it.
not, I can't tell you how to do that. The only way is to be watchful. What this Rupa is going to do to me. Is it
Yeah.
going to help me or is it going to
Harm
make me unhappy?
you.
Yeah, make me unhappy. So you have to investigate that. So once you practice that, all the rupas are fake and not real. So how can fake upadana rupa gives us happiness? That's the question Buddha is asking. Buddha is asking us, how come fake upadana rupa is going to give you permanent happiness?
Cannot be because they are fake,
They are fake, fictitious,
fictitious. Yes.
unreal, not real.
Mm.
So therefore, no use, being with them too much, too close to them.
So if like this, you have to check. We have to check every thought in our mind, like in every
Yeah,
second, even
yeah.
actually.
No. That's difficult. You practice for a while and then it will do automatically. The system works automatically. Allow that to work automatically.
Okay.
So you develop calmness or peacefulness in your system, then what happens? It will get used to that. So your habit is to be calm. Habit is to be peaceful.
Yeah.
Then it will stop Rupa Vedana Sanya. Sankara Vijnana won't come.
Okay.
So you have to practice. Buddha's teachings are for practice. More
Yes.
you practice, more results you get. Less you practice, less results you get,
Yes.
unfortunately. Now, I would like to say, we have to go through these three items over and over again instead of going to the next topic.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me, Dr. Bodhi. There
Yeah.
is another question about, yeah, just now you repeat, yeah, the five elements. And we can apply the break at the first three elements, right? Such as the Rupa, Vedana,
Mhm.
Sanya.
Yes, it's like this. Say you have seen, I'll give you example. Now you go somewhere, you see a very dangerous snake, or
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do? Are you going to enjoy the snake? No, you stop. You run away. You are not going to be with that. Something like that. So if
Oh, ignore it.
you know the consequences, you know the outcomes are very bad. So therefore, you are not going to get close to that. So that is the way it has to be handled.
Exactly. I yeah, think it is very
But it's not
practical.
easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. As a beginner, it's not easy. But
Yeah,
it is not impossible. It is not impossible. But why Buddha said, I'm a human
possible.
being,
Yeah.
I did it, you can. That's what Buddha said. Buddha said, I'm a human being like you, I did it, you also can.
Yes, yes.
That's
Everybody can. Yeah,
the
everybody
only,
can.
yeah. Yeah, ask any other questions if you got. Doesn't matter. This is a very tricky point, these five,
Yes, yes. So,
five elements
yeah,
of thought.
much clearer now, and especially I think it's very practical and
Yeah,
so
it's very
repeat
practical.
after repeat, and I think yeah, I can start my practice
Yeah.
at the
I'm
first.
going to repeat the 10 defilements, 5 hindrances, and 5 upadana skandha. We have to look at that again and again and again before going anywhere, because the next item is full of Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, what it does, how we are living in this world and all that, It's quite interesting, the next 2 topics, but better to be thorough with these 3. More you thorough
Okay.
with these 3, then it's easy to understand the other 2.
All right.
I don't want
Just follow you.
to jump into that before that. So read, if you have got time, read it, try to figure out, what you have learned, recall, and see how it works, whether I can stop or apply the brakes or not. Okay, so give it a thought, please.
Yeah, okay. We will think over it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, take care, all the best. Okay, we'll stop now then, if you're happy. If you haven't got any questions, if you've got any question, you can still ask. It doesn't matter. If you've got any questions or anything that will not clear? No more now. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Maybe tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thanks for
you,
listening.
Dr. Bodhi. So yeah, let me make an ending for our lecture.
Thank you.
Okay. Blessed by the Buddha's wonderful teachings, the kind mentor and doctor's compassionate leading and inspiring, may all beings have the intention to Bodhi and quickly realize the unsurpassed enlightenment. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the wishing. All the
Yeah.
best to all of you. The same. Thank
Yeah.
you. Good night.
All the best and good night. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you
Take good
tomorrow. Thank
care,
you.
Doctor. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.